Hello, Grinks. Thank you for joining us on this holiday, Christmas day. Blessings. Okay, there's um, this Wonder Woman came out today. God, man, eventually, when I remember, yeah, there's other movies I need to go into. Is that Soylent Green? I'm not sure about Mega Man, but Soylent Green has some stuff in there. But so, hey, Wonder Woman, I slept through most of it, but I fell asleep during it. But it's all right. It's for kids. She got in that her golden armor, and she didn't do anything with it. But whatever. That's a thought that counts. I mean, I mean, that's really pretty cool stuff. But it had the cheetah girl, which was a good idea, but they didn't use her that much as they could have. But anyway, overall, it was it's for kids. So obviously, they made that very clear. So that's fine. I'm not sure how that's going to go well with the audience, but anyway. But yeah, for kids and growing up, that sounds great. So that's cool. But they did. No, this wasn't it. Well, they had her world she comes from, the Amazons. So in the comics, um, actually, it's over here. It's not the best picture. I don't know if there's probably a better one, but it's like Atlantean energies behind her. And there's her wearing that golden suit that she didn't use in the movie very much. Just looks flashy. But yeah, there's like an Atlantean energy there. And here also it goes into obviously in the movie they kind of tone a lot of that down. And look, it has males in it because in the female version, in the movie version, it's all women. We got some guys there. That's saying something. Making some progress before they got rid of all the men. So all right, so this is yeah, it's just kind of like little things right in front of you basically. So this is gonna be a clone dimension, elite dimension, uh time travel dimension, and the elf world. Yeah. So so I'm gonna connect to all, not all at once, but so yeah, the energies I've been feeling like there is a clone reality somewhere. It's not making itself completely clear, but it's done somehow an astral or I mean there's an astral aspect of it, there's a underground base aspect of it. So there's a little bit of it's here but not here, but kind of like it's a dimension within a reality, things like that. And also the elite dimension where that's where how they bring souls here, how they're managing everything. Now, obviously, not going to make that clear, but they do. They're involved with who incarnates here. Maybe not 100%, but they know who's coming in. Um, like you're going to have a turning point in your life, and all of a sudden something weird happens in your life, like you're getting attacked by somebody or some kind. It's like, oh, that's weird. It's like I have this good thing that comes in, but then it's like someone had tried to derail me also, which I've had like with work. Um, so yeah, it's like they know how everything's being put together, the good and the bad. No, so work together. So I'm not sure how far we're gonna get with that. Yeah, how the elite bring people here, things like that. We'll see. We'll see how far any of this gets in a time travel dimension. Time traveling dimension is at least obviously there's different ways of looking at it, but there's multiple dimensions on all these things. But we're just kind of doing the baby steps version. So time traveling dimension is where basically they time travel. I mean, you can do this in your own meditation technically, where you're just watching. You're not doing anything. You're just observing. You're not interfering. That type of dimension. Others, when they're interfering, it's a totally different story. Which I believe it does affect our modern times, actually. which we can. We can't perceive because they're programming us all the time, or we can't see what the hell is going on here. It's quite the machine here. So, and of course they had that. Oh yeah, in the elf world connection. I feel and see if I get a visit. I don't think I will, but that's why I'm doing the elf thing. So see if somebody pops up somewhere or messes with something, messes with the internet. I had enough of that this week. Hopefully next week will be better. I'll be traveling again for the holiday. Hopefully, because usually during the New Year I go somewhere. Also, this is the worst internet and all of the internet. But anyway, well, they can't keep. The world's kind of not the same. So you take what you can get. Normally, I think it would be fine at a place like this, but they're kind of on red alert. So anyway, enough of that. We have the elf world to connect to, and there's something else I was going to say, but of course I forgot. Yeah, so should be interesting. Elf world or something else. Of course, is the AI dimension. Okay, yeah. So so many dimensions to connect to. So all right, blessings. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings, we are the clones. A silicon being. We are also connected to the mantis. You can say cloning has been invented by the mantis, but no one really knows who invented it. It's always been there, just like humans have always been there. Just like mantis have always been there. The cats have always been there. So cloning is, as you know, a type of control. On your planet is to make sure timelines do as they wish. Of course, yes, there are realities where they can switch things out. Usually that's done by a reptilian vibration. Your Anunnaki actually developed cloning, of course. You're all technically clones of each other if you really want to look at it that way. So now you're getting to know more of yourselves. So, yes, the human's always been, in some form or another, around. Your planets, yes. Well, the clone, the reason the Anunnaki and the clone, while they're doing a lot of human developments, improvements, the cloning just seemed part of the process. Why not? We can do it. And that, you could say, it's been around before that, but it has an agenda all of its own. All clones have their own agenda, but not one clone knows what the agenda of the other clone is. And not all clones are easy to tap into either. Obviously, because it has a consciousness, it's not going to say, hey, by the way, I'm a clone. Now, even some of you have parents that have been clones also, who have been either through your alien energies, there was an ailment, because they can go back in time and change things if it's permitted on your planet. You wonder what your aliens are doing a lot too, also out asking if they can change reality. They see this timeline coming where your grandpa is sick or your grandmother is sick and they want to stay a little bit longer. The aliens can override that. They can help if they are allowed to. Now they can try, they can use their technologies and they'll fail. That means they can't do it, or they can get, a yes or a no approval. Now, how that approval works is a little bit they connect to your energy field, but you're also talking to them. It gets kind of complicated. Well, you have alien versions of you there also. So some of you have like a teenager alien version of you right now. Now, a teenager version of you is like, 50 years old. But, aliens are normally have more energy. Well, yeah, because they're not getting up every day and going to work and having holidays tell them what to do. This holiday is kind of telling people what to do, isn't it? You must have this tradition. If not, yeah, it's like, that's not what we're here. But yes, you have like, we'll call it teenager alien versions of you that do say like, I don't believe my grandmother is ready to live. I just talked to her, and then they all have a conversation about it. It's like, okay, we'll help extend your life for a little bit longer. They're not playing God. They're just allowed to assist. They're just allowed to assist. All of a sudden, their grandparents, we just use them for example, they can go to the doctor and feel like near death. But Ulrika, all of a sudden things work because they want to be healed too. Now, others, so you wonder how people cross over too. The aliens are involved with that too. Realize in a positive way. Obviously, there are some that are causing difficulties. The lower the vibration of the person, the lower the vibration of the beings that are going to be around you. It's just how it works. Now, you can also be a high vibration, have lower vibration beings around you, as some of you have realized, but they operate a little bit differently. Sometimes, yeah, a lot of times it's just a test. It's just I mean, obviously everything's a test, but some of these tests are very crucial for your growth. Yes, testing with spirit guides you don't trust. That is a major test, and it's very difficult. It's like you have the pilot of your ship. You are the pilot, but other co-pilot takes over. They do interfere too, but that's part of your growth. So yes, if you have you're not too big on shopping, all of a sudden you want to shop, 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 or eat chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. A lot of times it's of course, I'm not talking much about your cloning, but this all comes back to it. It's a natural progression of humanity. It's basically, once again, to keep you on direction. Always, usually it's a public figure that's mostly known. But if there's an ailment here they can't heal, they'll clone the person. They already have the original selves already. That's nothing new. And they can bring it if it's agreed upon. So all of a sudden you have an uncle that was really sick. All of a sudden they're better, now they're ice skating and things like that, which they never did before. Some have a heart attack, and all of a sudden they're totally different. Sometimes it's a clone, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a walk-in. All depends. So a near-death experience also. A lot of times near-death experience those usually come back. But a lot of times there's someone else that just showed up instead. An angelic form to explain the angelic realms because they just came from there. It all depends on the situation, what information you need. But the cloning realms obviously are off limits to humans. The military has tapped into it because they're allowed to. Your astral energies, yes, they can clone souls, yes, in the astral realms. I can go into details on your Earth, but the astral plays a big role of who incarnates here on a clone agenda, like your politicians. Astral still plays a role, which are part of your elite energies, which are part of your alien energies, highly sophisticated alien beings. But I believe you want to talk to them instead. So yes, cloning is obviously we're not going into full detail, but we will over time. This is just a slight introduction of us. Obviously, we're not immune to go into full details for obvious reasons. So yes, you can tap into our energies. More information, what you receive will be. Yeah, it all depends. Even animals are cloned. And there are what out into your dimension. Like I didn't see that bird, and all of a sudden it's there. Yeah. Dimension doorways are open constantly here. So we do see a lot of channeled information has become sounding like science fiction when actually it's fact. It's just that humans aren't really used to it. Where you can feel a what you call a Mandela effect, which is actually a time traveling effect. The being is just messing around basically. But sometimes you need someone to screw up for everything to change here, for you to know that reality isn't as concrete as you thought it was. Most clones are under control, but many, especially like the children clones, fight the programming. Now, say like if you're cloned um, for various reasons, but the original is still around. So the original can come to the clone. If the clone is not acting right, the original can still talk to the clone and persuade them or execute them. If nothing works, and replace it with another one, which is a little bit not as easy as it sounds. Usually, if it's a fast clone that's created, yeah, that's when they have the most health problems. Oh wow, you just had all these health problems, and now you're fine. How convenient. And you're very big in the world today. Also, if not like a politician or someone gets sick, say like a high profile one, where they get a virus that can kill them, all of a sudden they're okay. We're not saying that happened, but that also shows a clone switch had just occurred. So, for various reasons, there's a galactic world out there that obviously I'm not going to give you full details. Over time, that will change. Blessings. Greetings to you. Yes, we are the elite. We are, yes, of a higher consciousness, at least the way we see ourselves as. Well, yes, many of us can be like called ignorant, arrogant, a douchebag, as you call it, a being of superiority complex, but ones that want to rule the world. Give you details. Some of you have children that are part of our bloodline that feel like they are gods, and some of them have. And so if you have a child, male or female, where they feel like they rule the roost, telling parents what to do, there's a pinch of royalty there, where it would be nice when the parents start to wake up to that energy because they can actually help their child even more instead of creating a disaster or understanding the disaster that they're in. What they just signed up for and then forgot they signed up for it. It's like, no, my kid will grow out of it. And then they're 30 and still have not grown out of it. And it actually became worse. So, our realm, it is like, yes, a board game. We pick and choose who comes in. We are like the ringmasters of your reality. We feel as if we have authority over your world. Well, it's just that the humans lost the game, the test, and we took advantage of it. So, how we bring elite into our group It's like there was a time in the world where anybody can join, become us. That was time Atlantis, where things are a lot more free. And can you sell out your people, take over them, treat them like sheep, call yourself a god, and have no problem with that? And then we approach you. Or you approach us, but usually approach you. You've just taken over the slaves or made them into slaves. So think of like you're in Atlantean times, you have a god complex, maybe by a warlock or whatever it might be. And now there's different types of elites. Some are just very in the shadows, and others just want everyone to know they exist. But you can take you as an elitist, you get the right people around you, like a gang, and you do it so smoothly. Propaganda, manipulation. We are God. You turn yourself into a god. You get the people to think how you want them to think. It's not easy, but you find ways to where you're the boss. Well, it's even better when you're the hidden boss. That's even better. No CEO. No. You have someone as your CEO. And that's even makes you even more powerful where you get attention, where you have somebody who says they're king, but actually you are king. Yeah. And yes, you have lost your faith in humanity, and you yourself become kind of some become monsters. But they come like they're stable monsters. Yes, there are psychotic killers. Yes, well, they have to be if you want to be stay the boss. You have to stay above the lion's den that you created. For the people, you can have them divided, hate each other. It doesn't really matter as long as you're in control in some form or another. As long as they don't know that you exist and are talking about you, they don't know you exist at all. If they know you exist, you tell them that you died. In some form or another, you fake your death, whatever. As long as they don't know that you exist, that's the only thing that matters. So the astral realms, yeah, when you get a complex like that, it doesn't become difficult when you learn magic. Even if you don't know magic, you learn it. You find a magician that knows what they're doing, a warlock, and you stay on top. You never go down. Now we have compassion towards others. That's when you lose our respect. That's when you get pulled down to But we also respect that. So if you want to have more compassion towards people, obviously some are not going to make it easier for you, but you want to be compassionate, but you don't want to reveal yourself. Yeah, that one's a little bit trickier. We have to go into that some other time. That's an important thing we don't even want to speak about. We just want to talk about ourselves, our domination over humanity. The good guys are an open wound. Some of them are angels. Some of them are assholes. Well, is this they know, like we call it the blood sacrifice. They know they have to do these things, the mind control. But then they'll fuckers turn it against us, where they do all the stuff we tell them to do. Negative, just horrific things to stay at the elite level, as some of you have heard. Torture, things like that of each other. Now I'm talking about people. I'm talking about each other. Well, they go through all those rituals, and they do it. They hate themselves, but then they turn against the dark, and just blast on their light. It's like the brave is stupid, but they do get somewhere. So we do give them praises for we hate their guts, but they are ones that are we're not proud of them, but they're a necessity for your world. Meaning they know the creation of life. They know, they might not always. They sometimes they're seen on your world as the villain when they're not. Not George Soros, but they're just here. Yeah, I'm talking about the positive elite. They just have they. We don't make them look good, and they know that. But they do. I mean, we throw everything at them. They take it. They're not ones that throw stuff back at us because they're not that they just but they still play the game because they don't want to lose their status. But not like they're not trying to enslave anybody. At your point, they are part of the awakening, but they know it's hard to explain. But they know they have to do things they're not proud of. But like there's going to be casualties, so they know that it's not. They bring in positivity, but they know it's going to be hard for many people. So as for how humans, so yes, it's a battle of who comes in, who does not. We are at a vibration where we are not seen. So we just learn it. Now realize it comes from ancient times. Yes, to Pharaoh bloodlines, and those are we hid ourselves from them. They knew, we kind of as long as they stayed in power, that was all that matters. And we move to the next power. We keep power groups going, but we're not seen. Now we can be here in the physical, but a lot of us are not in the physical anymore. So how do we bring people into this world? We're not here to reveal that as of yet. We are deciphering a good time for that, but it's not here for it to be said. But we do run your society, yes. Your positive elites, yes, we're not going to mention where they are. But they, once again, they are usually seen as the villains here. But we can't go into details of what that means exactly. But usually, us that are difficult to deal with, we make ourselves, at least our groups, look as good as possible. Well, yes. Well, yeah, we're not going to use political groups. I'm not going to mention that. We'll let you decide what we're saying. Well, who's getting the most who's getting a political beating right now? That shows, positively how they work. They just take the beatings. Yeah, they're not seeing, the propaganda works well, as you can see. That's all we have to say. We will speak later when we feel like it. Oh, yes. Before we leave, there is blood sacrifice. Still, it's not seen. Um, some of it is in the Himalayas areas. Some of it is in, we'll just leave it at that. Himalayas and where are we allowed to say? That's all we're going to say right now. Thank you. Good day. Greetings. We are time traveling. Reality. Blessings. Much of time traveling energy is artificial intelligence. As we We don't know all, but we see a great deal. It's all about calculations. It's all about numbers. It's about where you're going, where you've come from. Time traveling energy, you go to a certain place in time, you do leave your energy signature there. Even if you do a meditation with time traveling, you still leave your energy signature ever. Even astral travel, you do the same thing. So they know that you're coming. So, yes, when you do a meditation, it's like I want you to take that to the aliens, we'll just say the Greys, for example, where you can, who's on the moon? Yeah, you can sneak up on them because their energy just disappears. Just like some of you are living in your life, and all of a sudden a being just here. Some of you have done the same thing and not even know it. Now you're getting wise to yourselves. When you do a meditation, who am I going to sneak on today? Who am I going to sneak up on? Obviously, we don't agree those type of words and terminologies, but what do you think your higher dimensions are all about? It's not just the aliens connecting to you, but you connecting to them. Now you're leaving this physical realm of thinking. Now you can do anything. Now, obviously, we don't recommend you sneaking up on anybody, but you can just say, I want to get to the Andromedans, for example, and see their realm and say hello to them like you're talking to them. It's like, I feel you. I know you're there. I might not be able to see you, but hello, how are you? My name is such and such. I'm here to be your friend. And they can feel that vibration and they can unlock themselves to be seen more with you. It's like, well, now there you are. And there you are. And many are here. So this is what you're slowly getting used to. Leaving the third dimension by your own vibration. So you're sitting at work, you're sitting somewhere or standing. People can, we were at a spot where you just, I want to connect to somebody, an alien being. So you don't always have to have a distinct who is around me if you really want to do this. And just, or an elf being, I believe they're going to be connected to. And so what are the elves doing today? And just feel that vibration instantly. And yes, they might make themselves known because they're protecting themselves. I mean, you have your protections, they're going to have theirs. So as you feel their vibrations, it becomes more clear. That's when they start touching you. You feel like somebody just a finger just touched you in the back of your head. But some of you will be doing this to them. This is how you go multidimensional. The secret space program, which is in some ways connected to time travel. Time travel is a no man's land. It is like the Old West. There are time traveling wars, mental wars. Like you're going to a time frame in your mind, and all of a sudden you forgot where you're going. I wonder who did that. Normally it's a reptilian being, but various beings can do it, but usually it's them. Especially don't know what you're doing. They put good intentions to time travel. I have good intentions. I'm going to go to the 1950s. What do I feel? A bunch of reptilians manipulating that reality. Yes. Thank you for your service here. And yes, JFK is still alive in different realms and realities. Yes. As he is speaking to many. So why is JFK Jr. talking to you? Because some of you are friends with him. So you feel like he's here. And technically he is. Not in the physical, we don't believe. Because if that was the case, he has no reason to hide. So, but he is. His energy is getting stronger here. Now, some will call it a code name, and that's true, but others call him a friend because he is. So that's for you to get used to. Who are you connected to? So this is what your realm is going into now. So time traveling is, I mean, yes, you can go to different places. Obviously, sometimes they're going to be blocked, like the Tatarians. Well, many beings felt that wasn't necessary because you're going to a different reality of knowledge, but it will open itself up when the time is right. I mean, it's opening up now as we speak about it. But as you connect, because there's a fragile dimension too, you're just you're there. There was a lot of different lessons because the Earth went into World War I. That had a lot of reasons to shut down that reality, the Tatarian reality. World War II. It's just a timeline shift. Obviously, there's more to it than that, but you just had a different agenda came in. Is it a positive? Was also yes, increased technology here, but yes, not all answers can be revealed at this time. We are coming from a scientific reality where many of you, yes, you're Palladian beings, Syrians, because they've helped you, you're helping them. Some of you cause them so much trouble, uh, and they feel like they have to help this place, but they're helping themselves too. They've yes, this world is like drugs to them. They can't get enough of it. As more bizarre as your reality is, the more they just can't get enough of it. And look at yes, the mantis have not made themselves know. They actually the mantis and there's other beings, but the mantis actually helps a lot of Pleiadians and Syrians, even Arcturians, to you know don't forget this place. Not that they were, but the mantis wanted to make sure that alien beings are still assisting humanity. Not to say any beings will leave, but it's not been easy assisting this world, as some of you probably feel. It's not easy to be you here. As when an alien being connects to your world, they feel the vibrations of what you're going through. And it horrifies them what you're going through. And some humans might be having a good time here. But it's like, wow, but look at what you have to go through. So, because it's against so many rules. I mean, the ways of life of other planets where they're just free. They can just, for the most part, do whatever they want. For the most part, depending on the planet, of course. So many restrictions here. Now, humans are not necessarily masters of limitation. It's just that's more like the beings that are controlling your reality. They set up those limitations. Yes, as the free will, free as long as it's what we want it to be, as many of you know. It's like, what's your version of free will exactly? If you had free will, you should be able to leave the planet, as many of you know. Obviously, many say free will means not what you think it means. I mean, there's a version of it here, yes, but it has a lot of rules, as you know. So, we will speak again. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the elf beings. Yes, you're. Some of us are short elves. Is it the keyboard elf? Is a the cookie elf. There are elves that are the sugar elves. All they do is cook all day. You're obviously there's tall elves, short elves. Your Santa elves, which is funny how we showed up. Santa elves, those are inventors. Yeah, I mean, they do exist. They're always created. There are Santa Claus realities also, where he does. There is an actual. Now he's here, but not in your dimension. He does have a list. He's not a predator. There are predator Santa Clauses, yes. Depends on what. It looks like you have different versions of everybody. There's a very kind Santa, and then there's one that has problem paying his bill. Santa. You have a skinny Santa, and then you have a very controversial Santa. You have all kinds of Santas. Well, your elf inventors, of course, you have a lot of that too. Different versions of that, but a lot of them are just inventors. They're just real. Now, obviously, their toys and their reality is a little bit more constructive, meaning they're inventive, and they invent and some of them do work at toy stores and stuff here. on your reality. Obviously, they get lazy or there's whatever is going on in your world. They do work with the pixies too. But yes, inventing toys is yes, those are elf people in your dimension. They just work at corporations. So, but there is a Santa that children do connect to in a good way. There's also the bizarre one. There's different types. But for the most part, I believe most children connect to a more positive Santa. Well, because some have the negative Santa because it's been a negative Santa. Has not been a good experience. So, just like God, there's different versions of God too that some have not quite figured out yet. What is your God? It's me. Yes, you are God, but also you connect to a higher source, of course. So, but elves, yes, there's a tall elf. There's your Agarthian elves. Your Atlanteans were elves also. There's an elf version there too. And there's different types of Atlantean energies. So yes, we connect to the tree people. We can formulate and CBC in your realm, but we stay back when we were here, but we do not get involved. Yes, of course, there are Agarthian wars going on your planet, of course. Has a lot to do with the mind on your planet. How magicians are trying to mix up the mind. As you can see, they're kind of doing a lot of that's going to be what. Yes, you talk about the reptilians being pulled off the planet. But what about the magicians? It's not, many of you have interactions with them and just not aware of it. Some of you actually have magician parents, and they're not fully aware of their own abilities, but they do a lot of mind control on your kids, on you, the kids. So some of them are warlocks. The warlocks are usually drinkers. Some not always, but usually they have a vice or womanizing as another warlock trait, and their parents too. So just something to think about. There's all different types of wizardry going on here on your planet. Obviously, it's difficult to see it all, but it's a spectacle. It's difficult, but many of you are in the realms of unlocking your Earth, and it's not an easy place to be at this time, as some of you know. So let's see.